Hey everyone, ready to ditch the daily grind for a bit.
I know I am.
Today we're taking a deep dive into some seriously cool spots in Valencia, Spain. Our listeners have sent in a bunch of places they're dying to know more about, and let me tell you, I'm already hooked.
Valencia is one of those cities that just has it all. History, architecture, culture, you name it.
Okay, so first up, we got to talk about this city of arts and sciences.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Museums, an opera house, an aquarium. It's mind-blowing.
It really is incredible. It's a perfect example of how Valencia blends the old and the new so seamlessly.
Right, and it was designed by a Valencian architect, Santiago Calatrava. Talk about leaving your mark on a city.
Absolutely. He drew inspiration from Valencia's Moorish roots, but gave it this futuristic twist. You can't go to Valencia without seeing it. It's a must-see for sure.
Okay, next on the list is La Lonja de la Seda, which I believe translates to the Silk Exchange. It's like taking a trip back in time to Valencia's mercantile heyday, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is a stunning example of Gothic architecture, and it really gives you a sense of just how important the silk trade was to Valencia back in the day.
I can just imagine the merchants in there making deals and whatnot. Okay, so speaking of markets, how about that Mercado Central?
Oh, the Mercado Central. You're in for a treat with that one.
From what I hear, it's a foodie's paradise.
Oh, absolutely. You've got fresh produce, seafood, spices, you name it. And the building itself is a masterpiece of modernist architecture. If you're into photography, by the way, the Mercado Central is a gold mine.
I bet. Now, I've always been a sucker for a good cathedral, and the Valencia Cathedral sounds especially intriguing. It supposedly houses the Holy Grail, which is just, wow.
Right. It's one of those things where history and legend kind of blur together, But regardless of whether you believe the stories or not, the cathedral itself is simply breathtaking.
I bet. And for the best view in the city, you've got to climb the Miguelete Tower, right?
Absolutely. The panoramic views from up there are incredible. You can see the whole city laid out before you and really get a sense of its history and how it's all connected.
That's so cool. And last but not least, we have the Turia Gardens. This one is just wild. It's a park built in a former riverbed.
Now, that's what I call creative urban planning. It just goes to show you how forward-thinking Valencia is when it comes to its public spaces.
It's such a cool concept. So we've covered a lot of ground here. Futuristic architecture, ancient history, bustling markets, serene gardens. Valencia really does seem to have it all.
It really does. And you know what's even better? We've only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to discover in Valencia, from its vibrant nightlife to its beautiful beaches.
It sounds like a city that rewards the curious, that's for sure. For our listeners out there, what would you say is one thing they should keep in mind as they plan their own Valencia adventure?
That's a good question. I would say don't be afraid to get lost. Some of the best experiences come from stumbling upon something unexpected, whether it's a hidden courtyard, a charming cafe, or a lively street festival.
I love that. Don't be afraid to get lost. Words to travel by. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into Valencia. It's definitely moved to the top of my travel bucket list.
Mine too. And hey, maybe we can do a follow-up episode after we've both had a chance to experience it firsthand.
Now that's an idea. All right, till next time, happy travels, everyone.